Hey guys, it's Alexandra from EyeLoveKnots.com, yarncraftsandcoffee.com, and creationcrochet.com. Today we're going to be making a really quick star applique, and this applique works for so many different things. You can use any weight yarn to change up the size. You can make a bunch and string them up to create a garland. You can sew them onto things like a granny square or a bag, a hat, the pocket of a cardigan, anything that you want. Worked in a worsted weight yarn, it makes a great coaster, and so much more. So if you have any projects that you'd like to see worked up with this star, drop me a comment below to let me know and I will work on a tutorial. The written pattern for this is going to be linked in the description box below. In today's tutorial, I'm using Line Brand local grown cotton. This color is called Apple Pie. This is the number 4 worsted weight yarn. This is a great project for scrap yarn, but I do love to use them for the 4th of July. So I have several worked in red, white, and blue. I have an H8 5mm crochet hook. I love this cute little flamingo hook that I got from Brown Shepherd Studio on Etsy. I also got a matching needle minder here. You can use any weight yarn for this tutorial and the respective crochet hook, and you'll get so many different sizes for your stars. If you're local to Central Florida, you can find this local grown cotton yarn as well as this flamingo set in my Yarn Crafts and Coffee shop, which is located inside America's Antique Mall in Melbourne, Florida. These are quick stars to make. They take about 10 minutes each. It is just 3 rounds, 2 rounds of working a flat circle, and then you add on the legs. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a slip knot, so I've pulled the yarn over my fingers here, wrap it around my index finger 2 times, hold the tension with my thumb and my middle finger, pull the loop on the left up over the other one but not off my finger, then I'll pull the one on the left up over the other one and off my finger. Take my crochet hook, insert it into the loop on my finger and pull it off. Hold the working yarn in my right hand, short tail end in my left. I'll pull that so this knot will go to normal tension. We're going to start by working a chain 5. Then we'll join that chain to form a ring that we can work into. So to chain, we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop on our hook. Yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook. Yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook. Each one of these gives us a V shape. We don't count the loop that's on our hook. 1, 2, 3 chains. So we'll continue working so that we have 5 chains. And now we go down to that first chain at the bottom. We're going to insert our hook right into the center of it, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on our hook. That is a slip stitch join. And now we've formed a ring here that we can work round 1 in. The hole at the top is because the slip knot is not secured. We're not working into that hole, we're working into the center hole underneath it. So we'll start with a chain 1. That chain does not count as a stitch. We're going to half double crochet into that center ring. Yarn over, insert your hook into the center hole. When you do this, you're going to have the chains sitting on top of your hook. You're going to want to keep the tail end on top of your hook as well so you can crochet over it. Then you'll yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That completes our first half double crochet. Now the center ring is a lot easier to see. Yarn over, insert your hook into that center ring. You have the chains and the tail end on top of your hook. Yarn over and pull through. 3 loops are on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the center ring. Yarn over and pull through. 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Each time we work one of these half double crochets, we get a V shape at the top. We can use those to count 1, 2, 3 half double crochets. We're going to continue working into the center ring until we have 10 half double crochets, And as you work, you'll just want to make sure that you keep that tail end on your hook so you can crochet over it. As you get to the end, if you feel like you're running out of space, you can hold the fabric here in your left hand, grab the stitches in your right, and just pull it down. Those stitches are going to slide down the chain, and it's going to give you room to continue working your stitches. So I now have 10 half double crochets, and I'm going to slip stitch join to the first half double crochet. Sometimes it's tricky to know where the first half double crochet is, so we can use these V shapes at the top to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll insert our hook underneath both loops of that V shape, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on our hook, and now round 1 is complete. For round 2, we're going to chain 1. We're going to work 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. That's going to be increasing from 10 stitches to 20 stitches so that this circle will get larger but continue to lay flat. And I do like to split my beginning increases a little bit differently than most, just to help keep my seams straight. This is a 2-round increase here, so it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's what I like to do. So if you don't want to follow the way that I'm about to show you, you can just work 2 half double crochets into this first stitch, work all the way around as normal, and then join to the first half double crochet. But I like to split this beginning increase, and I'll do that by working 1 half double crochet into this very first stitch where the chain is coming out of, and I'll work the second half of this increase at the end of the round. Moving forward, we're going to work 2 half double crochets into this next stitch. So here's our first one. And then our second one, we'll just insert right back into the same exact stitch. And now we have 2 stitches worked into that one stitch. And we work 2 stitches into the next stitch. And we continue working 2 stitches into each stitch all the way around. Now, as I mentioned, I did split this beginning increase. So right now I have 5 stitches. And I'm going to continue working all the way around, ending in this stitch over here with 19 half double crochets. And then I'll have 1 more stitch that I'm going to work to complete that first set of increases. If you did not work this way, you have 2 stitches in this first stitch and 2 stitches in the next couple stitches, making 6. You'll continue working all the way around until you finish with 20 half double crochets. I've made it all the way around here. I have 19 half double crochets, and now I'm going to work 1 final half double crochet to complete this first set of increases. And it's really easy to see that next stitch that I'm going to work into. That's going to be the same stitch as the first, but it's going to be to the right of the beginning chain. And then insert my hook into the first stitch, 2 slip stitch join, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on my hook. And now round 2 is complete. I'm going to pull up a loop here so that I can go ahead and weave in my initial tail end before I add the points of the star. Hold on to the fabric in between your fingers. I have my thumb on the top, and on the back I'm going to have my index finger, my middle finger, and the tail end right in between those. I'm going to give that tail end a tug to close up the ring, but don't pull too tight because it can rip the yarn. Now I'll thread this into my tapestry needle. We're going to work the first pass clockwise underneath those stitches there from where we worked over the chains. So I'll work 1 complete pass, inserting just underneath several stitches there. This brings me back to the beginning. I'll work under a couple more stitches past that. And when I exit this last stitch, I'm going to break it in half with my needle. That's going to help capture my yarn better. Hold the fabric in between my fingers and pull this through. Give it a tug. And then I'm going to secure this with 2 more passes. 3 passes is my magic number. I'm going to rotate this, insert into a nearby stitch, breaking it in half. I always do that when I enter and exit, and then run back through several of those same stitches I just finished. I like to do it this way just because it does help capture my yarn better, so it's more secure. Hold the fabric in between my fingers and tug on that yarn. This is going to prevent some of the bunching. You can use your fingers to manipulate the fabric if you need to, if your fabric has bunched up. You want it to lay naturally. If you feel secure after 2 passes, you can finish off there. If you feel like you need to work a 4th one, you can do that too. Whatever you need to do to feel the most secure with your ends. Then I'll fasten off. And continue on adding the points. I like to do this weave here just because it's the easiest to get to before you add on all those points. We're going to start with a chain 6. And now we're going to work down this chain to create a point. We're going to start by working a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. We don't count the loop on our hook. Skip that first one, and in that second one, right in the middle, insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. Then we'll half double crochet into the next chain, now we'll double crochet into the next chain, yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the chain, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to treble crochet into the next stitch, yarn over 2 times, so there are 3 loops on your hook, insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Now there are 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. This is a treble crochet or a triple crochet. And finally we'll have a double treble crochet, also called a quadruple crochet, in that last chain. And you're going to yarn over, so there are 4 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into that chain, yarn over, pull through. Now there are 5 loops on your hook, and you'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to skip the stitch that our chain is coming out of, skip each of the next 3 stitches, and then we'll slip stitch into the next stitch. Insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on your hook. That secures the point, and that's our very first leg of the star. So we're going to go ahead and repeat this 4 more times, so we have 5 legs. Chain 6, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, don't count the loop on the hook, skip the first one, in the second one, insert your hook into the center, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. Half double crochet into the next chain, double crochet into the next chain, yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Treble crochet into the next chain, yarn over 2 times, so there are 3 loops on your hook, insert your hook into the center of the chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And finally a double treble or a quadruple crochet in that last chain, yarn over, 3 times. So there are 4 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the center of that chain, yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Skip the stitch that our chain is coming out of, skip each of the next 3 stitches, then slip stitch into the next stitch. Insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over and pull through that stitch and the loop on your hook. That completes the second leg. We'll work one more together. If you need a step-by-step for each stitch, you can use the timestamp in the description box below to click on it for the second leg, and then you can go step-by-step for each stitch. But we'll start with a chain 6. Single crochet into that second chain. Half double crochet into the next chain. Double crochet into the next chain. Treble crochet or triple crochet into the next chain. And then double treble or quadruple crochet in the last chain. Skip the stitch that the chain is coming out of, skip each of the next 3 stitches, and slip stitch into the next stitch. And now you'll continue working so you have the next 2 legs done, and then we'll do that slip stitch together at the end. Here at the end, we're going to skip the stitch that our chain is coming out of, skip each of the next 3 stitches, and in that next stitch, which is the stitch where our first chain is coming out of, we're going to insert our hook into that stitch, and then complete our slip stitch. Depending on what you're going to be using your applique for is going to be how you're going to finish. So for this red one, it's going to be a coaster. I fastened off with a tail long enough that I could comfortably weave in, and I went ahead and weaved that in, and it's finished now. For the white one over here, I'm going to be sewing it onto a table runner. So I fastened off with a really long tail that I'm going to use to sew it onto the table runner. If you're going to be attaching it to another project, you could also fasten off with a regular tail end like the red one, and then glue it on to your project, or sew it on using a sewing machine, depending on what you're making. Let's talk about finishing your project. Do you need to block or starch your star? The answer is it depends what you're going to use the star for. If you're going to do something like string them up to make a garland or create a pair of earrings, then I would say yes to starching so that you get that flat defined shape. Otherwise, your points are going to curl up, and while you can finger press a lot of it so that it flattens out, as it's hanging, it's going to start curling. So if you're going to be hanging it, you might want to starch your star. If it's going to be laying flat, like this red one is a coaster, then I can just use my fingers to finger press the fabric and it will lay flat. So I'm not going to do anything to it. But if the shaping was off or you wanted it to lay even flatter, then you could block it to get a better shape. Now, if you're going to be gluing it on or sewing it on to another project, I would not worry about blocking the star unless the shaping is off and you want to fix the shaping. You can block your stars to get more defined shape and to relax the fabric, but I find that when I'm sewing it on or gluing it on, I can stretch things if I want it to be a little bit bigger, and I can tack down things like the points here that might stick up so they lay flat in my projects. So the answer is really up to you and your preference and what you're going to be doing with the star. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed making this quick little star. Drop me a comment below letting me know what colors you've picked for your star and what you're going to be using them for. I have made several red, white, and blue ones for 4th of July, but I would love to make something for Christmas, maybe in white, or if I could find a glitter yarn. I think something in a metallic gold would also be great for New Year's Eve. You'll find the written pattern for this linked down in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button to let YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and subscribe while you're there, and I'll catch you in the next one.